Ajar if Ace is the only player that got eclipsed. Ajar responds by saying that it happens each and every day. Ajar says that the influence has spread across other platforms, but it's most apparent here. Someone asks Flies how long they've known Ajar for, and Fly says only for a couple of months. Someone then wonders about the Anti-Night group, and if they've been taken because of their affiliation, and Ajar says that they're all at risk. Shit. The meeting ends with Ajar saying that he'll continue to prepare the Ace game, and a code will be available to open said gate. After this, Ajar leaves. Have you ever wanted to find out if you're a noob? Well, here we are at the next entry on the channel, 10 signs you are a noob. This video is a very well edited Roblox machinima, and this goes for all the machinima / skits on the channel, but these videos could perfectly fit into this time of Roblox's history. Anyway, this video doesn't really have anything weird of note. The only thing I could think of is when this happens.
Surprised on the results. Who knows? Maybe the lag will finally go away one day.
Lag does happen during the Eclipse event. The video lingers on for some time, which makes me believe that it wasn't intentional. So honestly, if you want to watch a really well edited video and learn 10 signs that you are a noob, I highly recommend giving this video a watch. But that's not everything in this video. In the description of the video, there's another YouTube video ID. It's another video from Ajar. This time, it's about an update to Rendezvous with Memory. If you remember that last meeting, Ajar asked us which member of the friend group we wanted to restore a game with. Ace won the vote, and now the game is ready. It's announced through this unlisted video, Gate. In the description of the video, it says the following: 4 words across 4 spaces. Look to the changes. They may guide you to what they could be. Do not forget the ways they speak about darkened skies. You will have to form the words like they have. Once you find the first word, the pieces will fall into place. Upon completion, search for what has changed. You will have found something for my collection. The music in the background seems so much brighter, as if something has just been discovered. And well, this new game opens a lot of doors for us. It shows an image of the gate that's in Rendezvous with Memory. The time is now. It shows the house. Then the table with the mask gone. Find more. We see Ajar. Then the gate again. Only this time, the gate is opened. The video ends with the words, "Find memory," and ladies and gentlemen, that is our goal. The day is here. After we said yes to recovering the Ace of Spades place, we finally get access to it. But first, I need to discuss how we got to the game in the first place. First, we make our way over to the computer in the main house. We can input the code 3014. This gives us words that pop up at the top of the screen. The code for the gate is the month and day that he first found it. You will know where you are headed by then. Knowing this, it brings us the code 0203. Once we put this code into the computer, the gate will open. Here's how the meeting worked. Before the meeting started, people quickly figured out the code to open the gate. Then, people had the chance to explore the game and what the game had to offer. Anyway, I'll explain what's in this game. You spawn in and you realize the game is from a previous entry on the channel. The game Dragon explored when he first found the bridge area, which was Ace of Spades place number 13. By looking at this video, we can easily track where we need to go. If you join the game and walk around for a bit, nothing out of the ordinary will happen. We do see trees that resemble the tower and many roots coming out of the ground, but you'll soon come to find that nothing is happening. Looking back at the entry, when Dragon talks to Frosty, he ends his dialogue with, "I am now enjoying my winter wonderland," standing under one of the spawns and saying enjoying, then standing at spawn and saying enjoying my winter wonderland, saying each word individually, something will activate. It says at the top of the screen, enabled signal, and we notice things were added to the game. For example, the snowmen from this entry. Walking around the edge of the map even more, we can find the bridge that Dragon took. Walking along there, we can find many different directions to go, but all of them lead to a portal. In total, there are 5 portals that we can enter, but we are yet to enter any of them. The last thing about this game is text that flashes on the screen. Every once in a while, text will flash on the screen saying lines from the characters, but I'm guessing these are ones of many. This is everything in the Ace game at this point. After we explored and found everything, a meeting took place back in Rendezvous with Memory. Let's take a look. Ajar joins the game and walks over to a scarecrow. He says that the scarecrow reminds him of himself, watching over the crops so they don't get eaten by the crows. In this case, we are the crops. He hopes that we feel a sense of protection around him, and he reassures us that we will not be seen by them. Ajar walks in the main house and everyone follows. He turns to Flies and said, "You told me you found something." Flies didn't find it, but it was the snowman model. What? How did people find the model of the snowman with absolutely nothing to work with? Well, here's how it went down. I didn't mention that in one of the towers in Ace's game was playing an audio. Putting your camera to the tower, you can hear this. It's a spectrogram. Doing the spectrogram to an image, we can see this combination. It took some time for people to discover what this ID was for, but soon enough, someone discovered it as a model link. Putting the ID into a URL, we can finally reach the snowman model. Ajar is interested in this because it's another addition to the models that he archived in Rendezvous with Memory. As I explained before, Ajar uses Rendezvous with Memory to archive models from the past. He says, "The more items from the past that are brought here, the more I will remember." Which brings up the question, what is he trying to remember? I guess that's the whole second plot of Recall a Hollow Heart. We're trying to recall Ajar's past. Ajar says a lot of things in this meeting that can be worth mentioning. He basically explains the whole goal of this channel and Rendezvous with Memory. I'll move on to saying what Ajar exclaims. He moves to the tower. Towers spread across places like stars spread across the night sky, all woven together, speaking to one another. But all strings must lead to one place, one connection that they all match themselves to. I do not like this feeling that I feel. I was reborn to wear a mask of someone else, to allure with a disguise, but I was different from all. I can sense more beyond what they presented. I wear my own face instead. A couple minutes after this, Ajar leaves the game, and that's the end of this meeting. 3 months later, on March 20th, 2025, another video was posted. Everyone in the premiere chat anticipated what was about to go down, and when the video began, we saw this. What? Is this it? Are we serious? Come on, there has to be something else. Come on, there has to be. Here's a new video. I have to focus on my school. Dragon, what are we doing? We have bigger problems here. Not even 20 minutes later, the biggest switch-up ever happened. Another premiere took place. The switch-up was so good, I didn't even watch this video live. After the nothing burger of the last video, I went back to playing Geometry Dash. Starting the video, there is already something very different. The intro to these Ajar videos starts up like so. It's completely glitched than before. After the intro, we officially start awakening. Ajar gets up and he turns around to us. A portion of mind restored. We get a close-up of Ajar's eye, with incomplete recollections. Whispering to me to find more. Ease shall remain, nevermore. As we know from the last meeting, Ajar confirms that the whole point of this storyline in today's age, he needs as much information that we can gather. The snowmen, the houses, the brick store, all of these are models, or you could say relics, of the past. This is what Ajar is trying to remember. Looking at the video with this in mind, it creates a small step in the story. A portion of his mind was restored with incomplete recollections. They're whispering to him, telling him to move forward and to find more. Doing this, ease shall remain, nevermore. As more of what I've received settles in, I sense another within. A fragment of my former self whispers incomplete thoughts and cries that I cannot answer. I ask of you to remain patient with what I am as of now. I will not be as stable as I once was. I shall remain the guide to paths and the light to darkness. It's from this point on, things get weird. Things get unstable. The truth begins to unfold more with different areas to explore and different parts of what we thought the influence could be. Without further ado, let's take a look at the next meeting that followed this video. The meeting is in rendezvous with memory like always, and just like the last meeting, Ajar by the door and Flies of the Lord are the ones here. But Ajar doesn't sound like his usual self here. He did say that in the last video. Ajar joins the game and the meeting begins. It's loud. It screams only louder. Too many whispers. There is someone else here. Their identity is not known. Ajar calls upon Flies and he tells him what's been happening, telling him another speaks within his mind. They speak to him with broken whispers. Ajar then gives us information about what we'll see next. Here it is word for word. We will continue with our further exploration. If I do not find more to the memories I have recollected, there may be some risks to this instability. The next video will show further explorations. The person you all watch will stumble further into the realm we all stand in now. He will have made a realization of what he is truly standing against. It's at this point where Ajar just rambles on. He's basically going on a rant, ignoring everything in his surroundings. He speaks of a heart that must be found. Heh, like recall a hollow heart. I see what he did there. The heart that ties to all the stars and all communication is what must be found. He says it's a vital point of survival. It keeps changing. It speaks of a heart but also something of myself. Something about me. Something I did. The portal then opens and someone asks if we follow that. Ajar quickly says no and not to follow. I must choose another gateway. He quickly changes his mind. No, all of you must do so. You have chosen Ace. Now, who will you choose next? Everyone in the game collectively says Dragon, which makes me question, what in the world would we have gotten for 60's game? From my knowledge, he doesn't own anything, so what could have been his game for us to explore? Ajar confirms that Dragon will be next. What follows is a complete rant from Ajar, more collection. Fury fills the mind as the whispers continue to speak. That tower is the tormentor of all that lives. Ajar walks to the influence tower. These whispers speak of all towers, all connections. I wish nothing but the death of the stars. The whispers won't end. The whispers end nevermore. Flies tells him to calm down. I know that they watch me. I know what they have made of me. Do you not feel what I feel from what you have lost? Flies says at some point. Ajar seems to be very distraught during this meeting. He seems sick of these voices that he's hearing. Ajar speaks of them, saying that they are trying to wipe the past. That past is what we're trying to investigate. He says that he will investigate the profile we have chosen and inform us when he finds what he needs. Ajar ends the meeting by apologizing for not bringing more beyond this. Ajar then leaves the server. The person you all watch will stumble further into the realm we stand in now. He will have made a realization of what he is truly standing against. This quote from Ajar is exactly this video. Dragon explores deeper and deeper and finds things he was never meant to find. Dragon begins the video with subtitles. It's late at night when I edit this. As of now, I am an anti-night member. As with you both, from what had happened. I still don't know what it is I am dealing with, but I know that was not a virus. You two and anti-night already know what happened, but I should still warn. The following contains my real name and other personal details of my own. This footage has also been tampered with, so anything else beyond basic text or screenshots is not me, even now. I trust you with this information, and you have been warned. Here's the first recording from March 8th. Dragon is staring at the tower. He's back in Ace's place. We can see he is actively trying to get back to the eclipse area. He's even going back to the same spot, but yet it doesn't happen. At least at first. Text appears on the screen saying, "Is this what you wait for?" He is right back to where he once was. He makes his way to a portal. When he reaches it, more text appears saying, "Wrong way." Someone is talking to Dragon. He finds many different portals. These are the portals that we see in Ace's game that we can access, none of which opens to another area, except for Dragon's case. There is an open portal. Text pops up on the screen saying, "You may now enter," and Dragon enters the portal. He is teleported to a new area. Text appears for a frame and it reads, "You are not the only one." There are many names on the board, and some that we recognize. Each of them have a health bar below it, showing their time remaining. Looking at Ace's health bar, it has run out. Others we see are Purple Sub, who is still high, 64 Gamer, who is still high, and Dragon, who is a little bit lower than the others. But going back to the Roblox Thread Simulator entry, we can see names from that video on the board. For example, Flies of the Lord, Zero Katanas for You, and others we'll meet later in the video. Later, text appears on the screen as he walks. It says, "Did you see me?" We can see Dragon and someone off in the distance. He sees Ace. "What the hell do you want from me?" Ace responds, "I'm cold." "No, cut it with the cold garbage. Tell me the truth in whatever it is you want. I know there's someone behind the account. You are not Ace. Just tell me the truth." Ace responds, "The truth is not what you want, Zach." Dragon is taken aback by this. Dragon wonders why he knows that, and if you look back at the Ace's game, one of the messages that flashes on the screen is this very line. It predicted the future dialogue. Ace responds, "Never give up, no matter what anyone tells you. You want more than answers." "I don't want answers. How do you know who I am?" Ace says, "Quickly, just join. I don't have time, Dragon. We can do your video." Dragon begs him to stop, offering to do anything. Ace finally says, "Let go." Dragon says never and begins to leave the game, but Ace says, "Leaving so soon? Shut up. Nothing you can do about it. Can't reach me like before." Ace responds, "We don't have to reach you." You can see why I was so fucking scared later on. We then enter the second half of the video. We get more subtitles from Dragon. They read, "Upon telling Flies a week later, I was called for a meeting. Said meeting turned out to be with most of the anti-Knight themselves. Here's the second recording from yesterday." The second footage begins. They are in a house. Dragon walks up to the corner of the table and sees the members. These being Vanity Mania, Zero Katanas for You, Killer Mastez, Flies of the Lord, and Data Skywalker. Katana says, "Wasn't Scrambler supposed to be here?" But Flies says that he's busy. This is another member of the group. Dragon thought this was just a thing that Flies and Katanas did, thinking back to when Dragon first met the two of them. But Killer Mastez introduces himself as the leader of the group, and he's been hearing about him since Ace disappeared. But Dragon gets right to the point. "What is this meeting for?" Killer replies, "To talk about everything you've seen and everything that's happened to you, and I mean it when I say everything." And based on the number of videos from the past, Dragon knows this will take him a while. We have text pop up on the screen from Dragon. He explains that he told them everything and did a jump cut to save time. "Thank you!" And he apologizes for the music playing in the background. After telling them everything, Killer is surprised he's even still here. Even that, he's not even 3/4 left in the health bar. Killer mentions what this game is. A cabin with no stars and the skybase to be safe. Soon enough, Dragon asks the question, "Can I just get an explanation on this stuff?" Killer begins to explain what they know about the influence. First thing, it's not a virus. We haven't been able to define it. We know it's caused a lot of problems. Second thing, it's been around since the 2000s. Third thing, your friend Ace isn't the only one to have disappeared. We've all lost something to it. Vanity walks up to Dragon and says they can't keep friends because of it. We already see a problem here. Dragon's friend group. Dragon wonders why they can't just report this to the Roblox admins, but Killer says they've tried and nothing worked. Dragon wonders what they're supposed to do against something like this. He says, "What am I of all people supposed to do?" Killer says that they're all going to move on from this game entirely. He says he's all for that, but wonders if there's anything he can do. Killer replies, "If there was, this wouldn't be a group right now." Killer adds on, "Another thing of note, don't look at the stars. You looked at them." Killer then asks an important question about what he did before he got on. Dragon says he only remembers getting on the game with the recorder. Killer responds, "See, the situation only gets worse worse the more you forget. Something then flashes on the screen for a frame. It says the words saying "it eats at you" over an image of Dragon at a portal. If we look at chat, Killer explains that it's important to always record and remember what you've done, and Flies in the first meeting was just testing him to see if Ace just abandoned him, giving context to his weird behavior. Text pops up for a frame again. It reads, "It wishes to keep you here." The next frame shows them talking about his friend group. 2 frames after that, Killer says it's always been around night skies. Dragon says the whole thing makes him very paranoid. Vanity reassures him that they've all been paranoid. Flies adds on, "You start to feel that way once you see people just stop coming online and never come back again." Sounds like the guest story Katanas was saying earlier. Dragon wonders if it's a person, and Data says it's not a person. Killer says it knows something about us all, and that's a good reason to stay away from it. Dragon says the reason he investigated was to stop it from happening. He finally asks its motives and what it wants. The only thing they know is that the influence won't stop until it gets what it wants. Dragon ends the recording by saying, "We probably shouldn't be here then, at least until my friends get on." This one line describes the whole situation entirely. Does he choose to get off the game and leave his friends, or stay and be in danger? Dragon says he was invited to Anti-Night following this. For a frame, an image pops up saying, "Come back." Vanity gives one last message saying if he needs anything or if anything happens, let them know. And then the video ends with him saying, "They're difficult, but I trust that they mean well." In the description of the last video, Ajar writes saying, "He struggles to grasp its true nature as it is revealed. Another awaits for him as such unfolds." These 2 entries can be summed up within these lines. "He struggles to grasp its true nature as it is revealed" relates to the Anti-Night entry, and "Another waits for him as such unfolds" relates to the next entry, Library. This is probably the entry with the absolute most content to talk about, so without further ado, let's decipher Library. Dragon begins the video by saying the following. First, everything with the website, and then this. "I checked the frames of my last video, discovered someone trying to talk to me. The interesting thing is the date at the bottom, April 2012. Not to mention, what is that in the background? Not only did I notice what was in the background through my footage, I found them again after following with their request. This is what happened. P.S. It's probably best not to watch this if anything grosses you out. Flashing images. I know you can be sensitive to that kind of stuff. Sorry." Dragon walks through the area he was in before, and more words appear for a frame telling him to come closer. When he walks further, threatening to leave the game, more text appears. "I am not Ace. I will open the exit for you if you wish to leave." Dragon wonders where this person is, and the person says that he is very close to where he is. He continues to walk towards a portal. "You may now enter" appears on the screen. Dragon prepares for another PC unplugging. Finally, he walks in. More text appears saying, "That will not be necessary, Wanderer." He sees someone in the distance. It introduces itself. "I am Lonku." Looking up Lonku, it is a figure from the Brenton folklore who is a henchman of death, depicted as a tall skeletal figure with a wide hat. Onku will collect its souls in its carriage. According to legend, it's typically the last person to die within a community, and spends the following year collecting souls from that community. Based on what I've described, this person here is what we're talking about. Lonku speaks again. "A name to a figure that represents me. I bring myself here to bring your goal, to give what you ask for, an end to what stalks you." Leonku mentions that he spoke to another user beyond Ace. Dragon brings up Killer Mastez, and Leonku says that's correct, which means that Leonku knows what they spoke about in the Anti-Night meeting. Dragon, in that meeting, wanted to find a way to put an end to everything, and well, Leonku is offering him a deal for that goal, which is weird because how does Leonku already know what he wants? I don't think it's crazy to say that Lonku is not to be trusted. Lonku mentions that he's not the only one to be under its eye, and then he walks away. Dragon follows him through a corridor and comes to a room. Lonku says these answers will be for another time. Dragon takes a quick look around the room. To his left, we can see an object on the shelf. This may seem to hold no importance, but it does. This object is the snow globe of childhood memories created by Roblox. It's an object that appears quite a lot on the channel. For example, going back to the delete this later entry, 64 gamers holding this gear. Another important aspect is the description of the gear, memento tempus fugit. This Latin phrase translates to English as remember, time flies. It seems like this is what the influence builds on, these memories that you slowly forget as you grow up, which seems like why Ajar is trying to archive these models from this time. But now, listen to this. When you click the snow globe, it plays this sound. Does this sound familiar? It's been here since the beginning. The very beginning. Back to the video. Lonku asks the question for Dragon, saying, "If you truly wish to be free from it, then I present you this offer. Lend me your presence and I will grant you the wisdom and ability to be free. Understand if that you want it to be gone, then you want it to be dead. You will lose part of yourself and more in this process. There is a possibility of that being everything." Dragon wonders what he's talking about and why he's saying all this to him. Lonku wonders if he wants to be free, and Dragon says, "Sure, I guess." He walks to the side. Watch how Lonku just turns as he walks. Dragon takes a look at the scythe on some blocks. Looking at images of Lonku, it's known to carry around this. He speaks again. "You have traversed through the storm, not knowing how to walk through it. I can teach you to brave the rain, Zack." Dragon interrupts him and says not to call him that, and Lonku says, "As you wish." Lonku is still waiting for Dragon's answer to his question. After some thinking, Dragon agrees after he said he can put an end to this. The screen cuts to black, and then the next footage begins. They are walking through an endless hall with names of people, games, and pretty much just nouns on the walls. Lonku says their knowledge is ever expanding. This means that the influence holds all of this information and is still gathering this very second. And based on what Dragon said, it seemed like this area is filled with information. He says, "Keyword is a subject to take note of." Lonku is facing the word keywords on the wall. Dragon walks up to it, and he wonders what happens if he clicks it, and Lonku says to learn, he must discover himself. What follows is this. It seems like after he clicked keywords, he took in all of this information relating to this topic within a second. So this means that all of these subjects we see on the wall have everything relating to that topic. And with the click of a button, the information automatically goes right into the brain. But before we move on, we need to look at every single frame. Here comes the fun part. In the first frame, we see the words "the stars." In the second frame, we see a screenshot from the Anti-Night video of Killer Masters saying, "Regardless, welcome to the Anti-Night." In the third frame, we have whatever this is. In the fourth frame, we have Ace saying, "It's cold." In the fifth frame, we have an image of Ace of Spades place number 2 entry, where "look at the stars" was first said. In the sixth frame, we have the words "I like your place." In the seventh frame, we see the words "skybox" repeated. In the eighth frame, we can see the words "have you heard from Ace?" This was spoken by Dragon in Delete This Later entry. In the 9th frame, we see "when are you online?" In the 10th frame, we see a bunch of dialogue spoken by someone. In the 11th frame, we can see Dragon say, "I am 90% sure it has a virus or something because..." This is from the Delete This Later 2 entry. In the 12th frame, it shows a sentence, "You certainly aren't the only one to have spotted those weird dark towers far away or just out of reach." In the 13th frame, we can see Dragon say, "Maybe